When I heard those words, hope rose up inside of me, like something weird and dangerous. It felt like a dream again, because I have spent so much of my life living in my dreams. At this time, I thought it was a dream again. Something similar was happening in real life, yet I still wondered, when I opened my eyes, will this just be another dream? I kept thinking, is it really possible that something this good could happen to me, to someone like me? A part of me waited for them to take it back, to say they made a mistake, that someone like me, cursed, unwanted, didn't deserve this kind of mercy. The counselor, my mental therapist, kept reminding me to stay present. They must have seen the fear in my eyes, the way I kept slipping back into my survival mode. They told me, don't worry, your life is going to change. You are going to be all right. And that is how I came to Canada, called by the words I wasn't yet able to believe, into a new world I had only ever seen in my dreams. When I entered the land of Canada, I thought all my problem and the struggle were finally over. In my heart I said, this must be my first heaven before the last heaven. I am entering heaven where I'm still in earth. I started to learn how to socialize with the people. I got comfortable because I thought I was safe. Normally my trust was for those who are in the house of the Lord, the chosen, those who are chosen to do good, the believer, those who believe in the name of the Lord. But this time I choose to listen for the voice of those who say, break the comfort zone and go beyond. And this is what happened. Back in Kenya, before coming to Canada, one of the settlement coaches had advised us to socialize when we got to the new country by making friends and building connection between those who speak the same language as yours, but they remind us to include the people who speak other languages. Expand your cycle to include Canadians. And that's how the life will become easier and also get access to some resources. Do not be afraid to ask for help. Canadians have a good culture to help one another. Socialize, learn new culture, make connection. That is how life will open for you. So I reached beyond my fear. I began asking for help, something I had never done in my entire life. I started working at a farm called Sunworks Farm as a newcomer, living alone and dreaming of independence. My greatest desire was to drive a car. I was happy, free, and ready to grow. I felt safe, and I trusted that could be no one will ever take advantage on me again, like the way they used to do back in Africa. My plan was simple: to study, to go to work, to take care of myself, to go to church, and building my life to the greatest level I desired. And the first biggest step at that time was to own my own vehicle. To me, vehicle meant freedom, like someone who broke the really prison gate and got access to the really freedom. After all those years of running, hiding, and being trapped, a car represented the ability to move freely, to go where I wanted, when I wanted. For the first time, it gave me a sense of control over my own life. So I saved money and bought my first car after getting my drive license. Although I didn't know the license had different categories in Canada, but that car changed my life forever. Every time I sat behind the wheel, I felt like I was finally in charge of my own destiny. I could go to work, I could go to church, I could go to the store. I didn't have to depend on anyone. I didn't have to wait. I didn't have to ask permission. That car was more than transportation. It was my independence, my dignity, and the proof that I was truly building a new life. But soon, a mistake I didn't understand changed everything. My car was taken away and my license was suspended. I didn't know that Canadian license had a different class level. They had given me class 7 license and told me, do not drive alone. I thought it was just a formality. How could I not drive alone when I alive in this country alone? Who was going to drive with me everywhere I needed to go. I was just a newcomer with no family here who could sit beside me every time I needed to go to work. The instruction made no sense in my situation, so I thought it was just something they said but didn't truly mean. I paid my fine. They kept giving me a ticket, giving me fine, and I paid my fine when I received them, believing that was enough to make things right. I didn't know that points on my license were disappearing one by one with each mistake. I didn't understand the system. I didn't know that eventually they would take everything. When they finally suspended my license, I felt lost again. I had been doing my best to follow the rules as I understood them, but my ignorance and innocence were counted against me. Nobody explained the rules in a way that made sense for someone like me, someone coming from a completely different world, someone learning everything from zero. I was trying so hard to do everything right, but the system was complicated and I had no one to help me understand it properly.